This is all simpler. You wouldn't know it from all the words that we offer and all the waving around and ranting that we do. But it really is simple. You came here as source energy to explore and to have fun. And most everybody that you know who's in human form is not having that much fun. You have a little fun, and then you have a lot of serious business. You have a little fun, and then you have a lot of responsibility. You have a little fun, and then you have a lot of telling it like it is. You have a little fun, and then you have a lot of straightening it out. You have a little fun, and then you have a lot of making the world a better place. You have a little fun, and then you have a lot of setting the example for your children so they can grow up and be good citizens. You have a little... There are just so many things that you've picked up along your physical trail, and your guidance system has been telling you every step along the way. Every time you yelled at your kids, you felt bad. Every single time. Not one time did you feel like you were in the vortex when that was going on. Not one time ever, you see. And yet you did it because you got to straighten them out, because you got to stop them from doing what they're doing. And we say, once you get a handle on this seeing the world through the eyes of source, then you begin to discover you love people into alignment. You positively expect people into success. You love people into their well-being. You love it because you see it. But friends, you don't need to be the one that does it. Source is already doing it. Source is already doing it. Do you believe that Source is flowing that energy toward everyone? We really like the word realize. Realize. So you're following the conversation that we have about your vibration is out ahead of you, out ahead of the manifestation. And there is a vibrational reality that if you can strike the right vibrational relationship with it, then it will flow from vibration into reality. So in our analogy, we just want you to understand that there's a vibrational version that will then occur to you. It will be realized. So everything that you are seeing is a translation of vibration. What you see is vibrational interpretation. What you smell and hear and taste and touch, it's all vibrational interpretation. So when you get, by virtue of chilling, by virtue of meditating, by virtue of taking a walk, breathing deeply, making lists of things that you feel good about, are meditated, and you're good at that, been teaching it. So when you have quieted your mind enough that you've stopped resistance and you allow your vibration to raise, what happens is, because there's no resistance, then that broader perspective, that source perspective, flows into your experience. But source knowing it, source knowing it, that's what we meant when we were teasing you about how brilliant we are. But unless you are personally realizing it, then there's no advantage to us being brilliant. Unless we can pose it to you in a way that you can realize it, you see. So the higher your frequency, which means the more you meditate, which means the less resistance, which means the less negative emotion, then the more you, and we love the word, realize, the more you allow, the more you translate into something meaningful to you. You use the word I see it. The more you translate into physical experience, that broader non-physical perspective. And the best of all worlds is when you've just tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You've just done it and doing it and doing it and done it and doing it. You practice it. You feel good. You just go from one wonderful thing to another wonderful thing, and you've convinced yourself that life is supposed to be good for you. And then you allow yourself to be a constant, or at least a steady realizer of how Source feels about this world. And when that happens, when you're there, you look at a friend and you love that friend so much, you feel like you're just going to turn inside out. Because you feel about that friend the way Source feels about that friend. You get a glimpse of someone in trouble and you don't worry about them at all, because you're seeing them in the way that Source is seeing them. You look at your planet as a whole or in general, and you just feel well-being about it because you're seeing it the way Source sees it. You're realizing Source's awareness of it, you see. You're right. You got to practice yourself into it. But it's not difficult to realize it if you're in the frequency. So the difficulty is in getting to the frequency. And the reason it feels like a difficulty to get to the frequency is because people are going about it in the wrong way. You're looking at results of manifestations. You're looking at manifestational results rather than the energy that brought them about. Esther was thinking about things we're bringing back this silly analogy, but she kept active in her vibration what she did not want, and then expects law of attraction to bring her something different. That's just silly. And isn't it a wonderful thing that law of attraction didn't defy the laws of the universe and make her the one exception? Instead, it gave her what she was offering vibrationally so that once again she could make a decision. Do I like more of this? Well, no, not really. Is this what I want? No, this isn't what I want. What do I want? I want something I have not practiced. I want something that I have not practiced vibrationally. What does that mean? Going to ask to be the exception and get it? You're not. You might ask, but you won't get it. Your mother trained you to believe that you could throw a tantrum and get what you want. But the minuscule, puny little paltry stuff that flowed through that avenue was nothing in comparison with the well-being that comes to you when you line up with this energy that creates worlds. So we agree with you. It isn't the easiest thing to do. But when you understand it, as you now do, and you know that law of attraction is giving you evidence about how you're feeling and what you've got going on vibrationally, then you can control the outcome of your experience and you can control the way you feel. It is a glorious experience when you realize that not only do you not have to have knee-jerk reactions to things, but that you can get out ahead of everything vibrationally and then attract only the things that you want to come to you. It's a wonderful thing to realize that you have the option of how you feel about everything. And the more you care about feeling good, the more you practice those options, and the more law of attraction delivers things to you in a way that you feel good when they come. So when you realize that you can do some things. We teach meditation like a lot of teachers because we know that it's easier to teach you to have no thought than to have pure positive thought. Because you've been practicing yourself into resistant on a lot of things. So if Source is flowing that toward everyone, does anybody need you? It's another trick question. They don't need you because they have personal access, but what might you do to help them to apply their personal access more? Demonstrate it up close. Love them up close, even when they don't deserve it. Love them even when it's hard. Even when you have to practice it. So you lay in bed and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it, and then you go look at them and you go, oh! See you later. And then you go back and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it. And then you come out and you look at them and you go, ah! And then you go back and you go to bed and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it and you practice it and you come out and you go, oh, bye. And then you go back and you practice it, you practice it and you practice and you practice until finally, you see them through the eyes of Source, and they stand there with all of their flaws, swinging your chandeliers from place to place, rubbing oil all over your furniture, and you love them anyway. You don't let them clean your house, but you love them anyway. When you hear something that your Source knows to be, you feel the resonance of it. That's the resonance that you feel. And so there are many momentums. In other words, Esther was on a momentum of it's difficult to find someone on short notice to help her out in her house. And so that was the momentum that she had going. And so law of attraction just showed her what her belief was and amplified it, and in the process gave her an opportunity to decide if she wanted to begin practicing a different belief, because whatever belief she is practicing is what the law of attraction is going to bring to her, you see. And so we're not calling it good, bad, right, or wrong. We're just calling it wanted or unwanted, preferred or not preferred. And so everybody gets to decide what they want. So law of attraction is just the best way that we can find to explain to you how it is that you're getting what you're getting. Because most people don't even know how it is they're getting what they're getting. They have habits of thought that they've been thinking so long that feel so normal and are oftentimes validated by so much evidence around them that then they conclude that it's true. So they will say, this is a truth. I don't want it, but it is true. And we were wanting people to understand that whatever you have been giving your attention to as an individual or even as a mass consciousness, if you practice the vibration of it long enough, it will become true. Evidence will fill in around it to support it, you see. And that's the thing that is so confounding. Esther argued with us about this quite a bit in the beginning. She would say, well, I know that you don't think I should be talking or thinking about this, but it is true. It is true. And therefore, I've been taught to be objective, Abraham. I've been taught to weigh the pros and the cons, to weigh the pluses and the minuses in order to make a decision. And so when I see something that is true, I think that maybe I should shine a spotlight on it as a truth that maybe others might want to recognize. And we say, but there's another thing that we would factor into that, and that is this a truth that you want to keep supporting? Is this a truth that you would like to keep perpetuating? Is it a wanted truth or an unwanted truth? That's a distinction that many people are not understanding. Because you have the ability, Jesus said, turn the other cheek. And it's exactly what he was talking about. Do not continue to give your attention to that which is unwanted. Because in your attention to unwanted, you will continue to perpetuate it. So turn the other cheek. Turn in opposition. Look at the other end of the stick. Because when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So give your attention to what is wanted and be an advocate, a proponent, a perpetuator of that, you see. So we never, ever want to argue with anyone about the truth or the validation that life is giving them. Because when you believe something, life will show you not that it's right or wrong and not that others should be living, but life will show you it's your vibrational offering, and here is evidence of what your vibrational offering is. So then the question is, and it's really what we bring to the party as we are interacting with so many of you, we ask the question, is this thing that you believe is true, and therefore that you're giving quite a bit of attention to, is it something that you want more of in your life experience? If it is, then talk about it a lot. Get right down to detail. Keep it active in your vibration. And law of attraction will keep momentum coming to you to validate that truth. But we want to ask the question, why would you want to validate and perpetuate truths that you don't want to live? And how would you know you don't want to live it? Because there is a source, this consciousness, this enlightenment, this energy that you're talking about. There is a source energy that knows everything that you've been asking for. It's the best of all that all of us have become. And it stands in this vibrational attitude and altitude of high frequency. It is a vibration that you can feel. If you care about how you feel, you can feel for it. So as you start tuning yourself to that frequency, you feel better and better. In fact, negative emotion could not exist if there were not separation from that higher frequency. Negative emotion is the indicator in any moment that your thought, your opinion, your belief, your practiced vibration that is active right now, this red hot minute, negative emotion that you are feeling always means that the thought that you're thinking right now is way, 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 way off what the source within you knows about the same subject. That's why when you hate someone, it feels so awful, because source is not hating that person. And source is looking right where you're looking in this very moment and offering a vibrational attitude about it. When you find the vibrational attitude that source is offering in this moment, you feel the resonance of source. That's when you feel clarity. That's when you feel love. That's when you feel joy. That's when you feel well-being, you see. So when you understand that source is not dictating what you should want, but source knows what life has caused you to want. You as an individual and you as collective consciousness. You want to be an uplifter. And when you are not being, you feel bad because you have deviated from who you are. Not from something that source has assigned to you. Not from something that was preordained that you were supposed to discover or accomplish. But something that you have evolved to that now you are stepping back from. This is a thing that most humans do not understand. You have evolved to consciousness that is love, you see. And when you deviate from the love that you have come to, you feel awful. Law of attraction will give you evidence of your deviation, because law of attraction is not discerning whether it's right or wrong. Law of attraction is just amplifying whatever you've got going on vibrationally. And isn't that just the perfect universe to live in? Don't you just love knowing that when you are offering a vibration, that evidence of the vibration that you're offering is coming back to you? And don't you further love knowing that you can tell in every moment whether you are in alignment with the whole of that which you've become or whether you have not. So this is not a conversation about right or wrong. It's not a conversation about right teachings and wrong teachings. This is a conversation about resonating with the fullness of who you are, understanding that law of attraction is letting you know all day, every day what you got going on vibrationally.